Hey,
Dennis, good to see you, Dennis. I
we're
love that
live.
tan, man. Look at that. You got that color going on. Me
Mr.
and
Florida.
It was sunny out this weekend. I got some sun.
Dude,
Hey, so
I'm
Louis,
jealous.
we had a big win this week, right? So what was that big win? Tell us all about it.
So,
Real quick.
really fast, I reached out to somebody very high up at EXP. We were running into a lot of backlashes from different brokers because some of the brokers changed. And with Reload, they were saying, no, we can't sign off on your new contract to be both, right? And I had this conversation with this gentleman. I gave him some things that some of the brokers from different states were saying, and he was shocked. Like he was like,
But he fixed it.
yes, he went to town. He started putting everybody together, and we should have a resolution tomorrow, Friday, because they're supposed to train all the brokers throughout the whole United States on Relo, and so that they understand that the agent's not doing the work. They're just the loan officer of record. The Sherpas are the ones that are responsible, and they're also
Yes.
explaining that our E&O insurance is going to cover the situation if something comes arise.
And that's really what it's about.
Yeah, and it's not going back to the realtor or EXP at all. So
I love that.
man, I'm so stinking excited because this has kind of been something that's been kind of holding us back a little bit with EXP, even though we've been growing with other companies. But
Right.
now I just feel like it's time to put the
And
pedal
this is-
to the metal. And there's 15,000 agents that have signed up for Relo with EXP. Okay. So it's time to put the pedal to the metal and let everybody know that now it's going to be okay. We can start building this thing. We can start getting licensed and start taking advantage of the impact of actually receiving income on your loan referrals. I mean, that is just like fabulous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus
And
also
this
answers
sets
the question
precedent
for
for
other
everybody else.
brokerages.
I'm telling you, the call is over. I don't think we need to talk about anything else because this is so freaking exciting, but I know we have more things to share.
Yeah. So I know.
Playing excited, like, sorry.
So I know we're going to also talk about that pretty rate sheet that Dennis had, loan compressions and online companies, as well as the how people can learn on the Cash is King. But Dennis, can you share with us that pretty picture you have
Sure. Yeah.
and explain to us what we're looking at here and what it means to us?
Sure. So this is one of the charts that we watch on a regular basis, and what we're seeing here is the last quarter of a particular chart. So this is our 10-year. This is our right here, our 30-year 3% chart. And what we watch here is the trend. And as this trend line goes down, it forces rates up. So it's an inverse relationship. And where we are, this is where we were back in November, right? So we can see the timeline. We're back here in November. Rates were freaking awesome low. This is what everybody remembers. Oh my God,
Right.
Oh my God. Can I still get that 2% rate? No. Well, why not? Well, let me show you. This is why not. It's not me. It's just the market. I'm just the messenger, right? So, but this is, knowing the message to explain it so that people can understand it. They don't understand the charts, but if you show them the chart and let them, see it, they'll understand it enough to know that it just is what it is.
Right.
And so part of this is why refinances are starting to dry up, because the rates are getting a little bit too high for most people to make sense. However, if they're doing a debt consolidation, it absolutely positively can make sense. It's going to be on case by case, individual. I have a girl now, I'm working on a refinance. We're basically clear to close. She's got a 2.75 rate on an FHA. She's going to a 4 1/8.
Wow.
Typically, we have to show benefit to borrower. That would be a no-go right there. What's the benefit to borrower? Well, she's paying off $50,000 worth of high-interest debt.
That's
Benefit
huge.
to borrower.
That's
She's thrilled.
Benefit to borrower.
You can't wait to close. She's like, can we close? Can we close? Can we close? Well, you got to lock this ugly rate. Yeah.
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 Well, what's
Or if you're
really
an
good.
Or
But-
if you're an investor, if you're an investor that you have a bunch of equity in your properties right now, You may have a 3.8 rate. You may have to
Yep.
go to 4.8, but all of a sudden you can pull that equity and buy 3 more properties and take advantage of things going up. It makes perfect sense to pull some money out of some of your investment properties to buy more, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You
So
know,
it's all
and
relative.
we have programs that with Onslow and other things, it doesn't require income on the application for purchasing another investment property. They just have to have the money. And
Yep.
we also have products to go over 10 properties. So if you already have 10 properties and you want to buy more, you can go talk to that client of yours and say, hey, I have an
How many
avenue
do you
for us
want to
go
buy?
get more property. That's exciting.
How many are
Bring
you
it
looking to buy?
on.
Let's leverage. Stop paying cash.
Well, and it's actually, hedge against inflation is you got to put money into assets, and real estate is the best asset is what a lot of economists are considering the best asset to put your monies into to hedge against that inflation.
100%.
They're
So-
not making any more land. They're not. And houses are getting really expensive to build right now. So put
Yeah.
the money
I don't see
there,
us getting
'cause
to
there's
Mars
no
soon
more.
either.
They're going to run out. You know?
So, Louis, you're gonna share with us loan compressions and online companies. So let's
Sure.
start with loan
So
compressions.
If you look at that rate sheet that we just looked at, the reason why you see how rates have gotten higher, they got more and more expensive. What's happening is these large, huge companies, I'm not going to mention names, that have these huge call centers. Okay. What they're doing is they're reaching out to your client, they're buying trigger leads, and they're offering rates that are off the chart, meaning they're not making money. They're actually losing money on these deals. The reason why is they're trying to get fee income to keep their employees. Okay. The refinances dried up. There's no more refis. So now they're panicking. They got 400, 500 people on payroll on base salaries, and they're making $100, $200 a loan, and they're basically giving away the rate. Okay. Now, what happens with that sometimes is that for a little while, they'll have really good service on those loans because they don't have anything in the pipeline. But as time goes by and they build their pipeline, they're going to have the same issues they had before, that they couldn't take care of the buyers, and it's going to fall off. So I'm thinking,
and especially if they're firing a bunch of staff because they can't justify
exactly.
having
I
them
mean,
on
these
payroll.
companies are laying off 900, 1,000 at a time on their ops side. So they're giving away the rate right now. It looks like they're doing a really good job because they got a ton of people on the side, doing work, but they're laying off people at the same time. This compression is going to happen for the next 90 to 180 days, and then it's going to revert back. Okay, because they're going to lay off the people, and it's just going to go the other direction, and they're going to have to raise rates to survive. They did it before. These big companies, they give it away, and then they raise it. Next thing you know, they're higher than me and Dennis. Right? It happens a lot of times in the winter. It's kind of a consistent thing, but this year we're feeling it more because they're desperate. They really are desperate. So stick to your local people. I'm telling you, we're the guys that are going to call your listing agent. We're the ones that are going to work hard to get that deal for you, and we're going to do the updates versus you're going to have to call an 800 number to get an update, and you're not going to know who's dealing with your deals. With me and Dennis, we know who the processor are. We know who our underwriter is. We know who our closer is, Jessica. We know. Big difference, guys. Sorry.
And also I want to add this one little thing too. So sometimes we get all obsessed about rates. Our clients get obsessed about rates. The risk of not closing on time is real. Let me tell you what the risk is of not closing on time. As this market goes up, right? That house that you got executed at top of market at $400,000 in 30 days, we're seeing in our market that the rates that it actually has gone up 5%, 7% in 1 month. So
I've seen 10%. I've seen 10% in a month. I actually had a house that didn't appraise, and we were like shocked. And I asked we asked the seller, I know you priced it a little bit high. Would you give us a week or two? Let's kind of see if we can give us a little time, because we knew there was 3 or 4 comps that were
wait
about
for
to
some more
close.
comps.
right.
And
But
she
the
was
point-
like, yeah, let's do it, because this is one of my investment properties. I don't have a problem waiting a couple of weeks. She was because we were communicating with her. We
That's
were
great.
updating her weekly. And then we ordered a new appraisal. Guess what? Way above her asking price.
Nice.
And it was literally a couple weeks difference.
But also the thing that we have to understand is that seller does not have to extend that contract. So if the seller does not have to extend that contract, your buyer can lose out on that contract because the lender that your buyer decided to go to because they didn't want to stick to local can cost them the deal. And we're seeing that in this market because it's going up 5, 10, 20%, 10 to 20% in 30 days. So this is critical. Make sure we're educating, us realtors are educating our buyers how important it is that it's not.
Yeah, remember these companies, sorry to interrupt, you got to educate your buyers, very important. But remember, these companies use an AMC to order their appraisals, and those AMCs are taking a big chunk away from those appraisals. Our company charges like $60, I think, above, that's it. But some of these AMCs, if they charge $400 or $500, they keep half the money. What do you think that appraiser that's getting that deal that's making half the money from these big companies? What do you think they're going to do on those appraisals? Are they going to take the time to reach out to the listing agent and the buyer's agent and say, hey, where you came from and all that? No, man, they're just going to knock it out and send it in. That's it.
Right.
They're not going to take the time. So that's another thing you got to be careful with these big companies, the big, you know what I'm talking about. I can't say names. They have an AMC. We have one too, but I handpicked every appraiser that's on my list locally. Dennis got to pick his guys that he added to his list. Big difference. I have people on my list, Ron Box, Regan Trano. These are names that I've known for 17, 18, 20 years. They're going to call me and see if there's a problem. That's the importance, right?
There's a lot to be said about that. And the more you get to know in this business, the more value it is. So Dennis, you said you've already posted about the Cash is King on our Relo Matrix Rockstars Facebook page, right? Can you give us some details on that?
Yep. So what it is, I'm going to do it right now as we're talking Relo Matrix Rockstars. This is our Cash for King, Cash is King program. So basically, hang on. Anybody who's in our group can go see that right now. It's posted now. Now it's in there. All right. So they got to get in. You got to come see the meeting, right? So can wrap your head
there's no
around it.
documentation or guidelines on it. You got to be in the class.
So it's Thursday at 1:30 Central, 12:30 Eastern, right?
Yeah.
And you put the link to the Zoom there so that you can learn it well enough. You don't need to know and be the expert on it, but you do need to articulate it well enough to communicate with your sellers so that they want to be on the call with the lender who can really PYT them and have the full in-depth conversation. Again, our goal as realtors is to be the source of the source, and they need to recognize the value of the source that we're bringing them. That's ultimately our job, right? Is to open their mind to recognizing that there's an opportunity for them to be able to make a move without risking being homeless. So if you can just communicate, if I can connect you with somebody who can help you make a move and not risk being homeless, would you like me to have them call you?
Yep, not make a non-contingent offer. I mean, it's great. It really is great.
That's it. That's our job as the realtor, right? And then we turn to our Sherpa and let them be the professional, but we just need to kind of have a ballpark idea of what it does so that when we get into the crux of it, we can guide our
details.
sellers.
It's super simple too, but you got to be able to, it's, like the Relo presentation itself, you got to see it a couple of times. You got to hear it coming straight from Eric Bowlby, right? Because he's the man, he's got the money.
Yeah, Eric, but everybody does such a great job, which brings us to our conclusion. Invite folks, anybody, Tuesdays and Thursdays, Tuesdays 4 Centrals, Thursday 11 a.m. Central at relomatrix.com. Yes, you do need to register every time. It's okay. You can register now and then you can add it to your calendar. Add it to your calendar, invite folks. This is going to be bigger than we could have imagined it being. I can only assume, because of the leadership, because of the support, because of the back. I know there's a lot of great products out there that don't make it because there's not the leadership. And I trust this because of the leadership. So guys, anything else? Oh, we're going to have social media templates. We're going to have some resources for our realtors for real estate and other stuff. So, oh, other side. Point on other side. No, wait, it's over there. No, it's under your 844 MTG at 123. All right.
Wow, that's interesting. That's pretty cool.
Mortgage at 123. It's as simple as 123.
That's right. It's
AP.
that easy.
Yeah, APP 123. All right, guys.